Hi fellow animal lovers, my name is Monica and I'm a licensed vet tech or LVT. I have 15 years experience in veterinary medicine. On this channel I'll be discussing what it's like to work in this field as well as tips and tricks that I have learned along the way. If this is something you would like to know more on, please like and subscribe. In this video I wanted to discuss the difference between a veterinary assistant and a veterinary technician. To some, this may seem pretty self-explanatory, but there are actually a lot of gray areas that cause confusion between the two careers, making it difficult to know which one is right for you. We'll first start off with a veterinary assistant. The basic job duties of an assistant are to assist the doctor and veterinary technicians or nurses. Other job duties include checking in rooms, taking a patient history, restraining patients, filling medications, cleaning rooms, cages, and runs. These are just some of the many duties an assistant will do in veterinary medicine, and it will vary between the state you live in and the hospital or clinic you work for. So how do you become a veterinary assistant? Well, there are two ways to become an assistant. The first and probably most popular way is through on-the-job training. When starting off in veterinary medicine, with no experience, most hospitals will probably start you off as a kennel assistant, and with time you may be able to work your way up to assistant. The other way to become an assistant is to go to school. Schooling for veterinary assistant can range from 6 months to 1 year. These programs are non-degree programs, but with completion you will get a certificate and title of Certified Veterinary Assistant, or a CVA. Schooling will cost about $2,000 to $6,000, possibly more, whereas on-the-job training won't cost you anything. One tip I can give you: without experience in veterinary medicine, most hospitals or clinics will start you off as a kennel assistant and have you work your way up. This is true even if you have a CVA. So just a little something to think about when considering veterinary assistant as a career. You can go to school and spend upwards of $6,000, but without vet medicine experience, you will more than likely start out as a kennel assistant, which is a beginning position in veterinary medicine. Now, this may not be true for all hospitals and clinics, but from my experience, this has usually been the case. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss what a veterinary technician is. Basically, a veterinary technician is an animal nurse. Right now, many hospitals are actually calling veterinary technicians nurses instead of a veterinary technician or a veterinary tech. As a veterinary technician, you will be taking radiographs, drawing blood, placing IV catheters, anesthesia, bandaging, prepping for surgery, nursing care and treatments, lab work, and these are just some of the many things that you'll be doing as a veterinary technician. Okay, so how do you become a veterinary technician? Well, there's only really one way to become a veterinary technician, and that is to get an associate's degree in veterinary technology. In the past, some people were able to do a program or to do a grandfathered in type of situation with their state. I don't know how popular that is anymore today, but that was another option in the past. So you do have two options when it comes to going to school. You can go to a community college and go to classes every day, or you can do an online distance learning program, which is what I actually did. So one thing I will say that is actually kind of important is that universities and these online programs are advertising the veterinary technology degree as a 2-year program, which in reality it is a 2-year program, but you have to have all of your basic courses done in order for it to be a 2-year program. So they do not include the time it takes you to do your basic courses in with that 2 years. So basic courses are anything like your math, your English, your history, chemistry, biology, anything that the program requires that you take before you can actually start the vet tech program. So if you have not done your basic courses, it's going to take you anywhere from 2 to 3 years to complete the program, and that's if you go full-time, year-round for 2 to 3 years. If you were like myself, it took me 3 years to complete, and I already had my basic courses done, and it took me 3 years. Basically because one semester I took off, one semester I only did like one course, And that was, that's why it took me a little bit longer. But if you are committed to going year-round, full schedule, and you have your basics done, you can easily do the program in 2 years. So once you graduate and you get your associate's degree in veterinary technology, the next step to getting credentialed is taking your national exam and your state exam. The national exam, which is the big one, is going to be your VT&E, or your Veterinary Technology National Exam. Then you're also going to have to take your state exam, which is going to cover rules and regulations that are required by your state to get licensed. In this video, I'm not really going to go into the VT&E or the state exam, but if you're interested in this and you want to know more about it, leave a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. Once you pass the VT&E and state exam, you can now get your credentials. Every state is different when it comes to credentials. Some states, the Board of Veterinary Medicine is very strict and has very strict laws on what a veterinary technician and a veterinary assistant can and cannot do. Some states, the laws are less strict. For instance, some states require that you are credentialed in that state to work as a veterinary technician. Other states do not require that you be credentialed to work as a veterinary technician. So this is why it's very important that you go to your Board of Veterinary Medicine's website for your state and research the rules and regulations and what is required if you want to work as a veterinary technician and a veterinary assistant. I hope this helped you to decide what career to choose, a veterinary assistant or a veterinary technician. In my opinion, if you're serious about veterinary medicine and really want to work in this field, I would go to school for vet tech. Between going to school for an assistant or tech, I would spend the money on a tech degree. I know this is a lot of information, so if you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment down below. And if you have any other video ideas that you would like me to cover, leave that in the comments down below as well. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe.